There it goes. Good morning, everyone. Come on in, have a seat. We have a few more people coming on in. Good morning and welcome, everyone, to our Sunday celebration here in Santa Cruz County. We are so pleased to have everyone back in the sanctuary. And today, woo, yay! And look at all the beautiful faces. This is so exciting. And we're so glad for those of you who are joining us today there in Zoom, Facebook, and YouTube. Thanks for being with us. What a wonderful Sunday morning. My name is Reverend Tamara Merrill, and I'm a staff minister here at Centers for Santa Cruz. We're located in the Live Oak neighborhood of Santa Cruz, and we honor the ancestral land that we occupy of the Ama Mutsun tribe. Our theme this month is a pause for guidance. Please join me now to hear the UU choir for our opening song, Building a New Way.
We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way, feeling stronger every day. We are building a new way. We can feed on every need. Every need. We can feed on every need. Every need. We can feed our every need. Start with love, that is the seed. We can feed on every need. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Without these, our world will die. Peace and freedom is our cry. We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way, feeling stronger every day. We are building a new way. A new way, a new way, a new way.
Hope you enjoyed that song. I know I did. This center is a part of a worldwide global movement known as the Centers for Spiritual Living. We have and share a purpose, a vision, a mission with our movement, And we have our own centering statement and with this community. We'd like to make this statement by filling in the last part. It says, and responding to life with blank. And you get to put in what you want to respond to life with. Joy, love, peace, whatever. So I invite you right now to share with me our centering statement. We are a spiritually progressive community that transforms lives and the world through a philosophy of possibility thinking and responding to life with joy. Thank you. This week, we have a quote, and we have a wonderful morning planned for you, a very special morning, actually. And we will begin with a brief spiritual practice by our practitioner, Sky Leona, followed by a wonderful music by Mel and Z that will be followed by speakers today. You have 2 speakers today, our beloved Reverend Alice Reid and our wonderful Reverend Elisha Christopher. Woo! Yay! Sky?
So if you would, prepare yourself by centering right now and listening to these words by Terry Pratchett. At such times, the universe gets a little closer to us. They are strange times, times of beginnings and endings, dangerous and powerful, and we feel it even if we don't know what it is. These times are not necessarily good and not necessarily bad. In fact, what they are depends on what we are. So let us now, if you wish, close your eyes, allow your body to feel totally supported in the chairs you're sitting in, giving yourself an opportunity to recognize and realize this very moment where we are in the middle of a miracle. Every facet that we perceive, experience, feel deeply in our hearts, every perception of good and bad, all of it is happening now in this moment and the next moment and the next moment. And we are empowered by our very existence, our very breath of life, giving this space and time continuum aliveness through us, as us, because of us. So as we choose, we can shape the change coming our way right now, right now, right now. Or we can be shaped by it. Let us choose to be the beginning point of the experience we choose to have. In this community, we are right now creating a sacred space. I claim it and I name it as good right now. I will own and carry with me my choices, as I know each of you will too. Claim it and own it now. Love it. Let's go on with boundless joy, unconditional love. Let's go on knowing that infinite wisdom, ever present, that knows all things before they begin, is on target with us as we claim it. So I'm naming it now the Center for Spiritual Living, a community of compassion and love and joy. We are blessed in all facets. Take a breath now. Own it. And let it be. And so it is.
True story. When Harriet Tubman first escaped from slavery, she heard a voice that said, "I want you to help free others." Do you know what Harriet Tubman said to that voice? She said, "No." She said, "Not me." She said, "I can't. I can't." But the voice wouldn't let up. It wouldn't let her be. "I want you to help free others. I want you to help free others." Finally, Harriet Tubman, the woman who would be known as Moses, said yes. Yes. Walk by faith, not by sight. Moses walked in the middle of the night, step by step. She followed a voice. She couldn't shut it off. She didn't have a choice. It told her when to move. It told her when to wait. She was walking in its footsteps. She was walking in its grace. It wasn't just her people Moses led through the night. It was anyone who's ever walked by faith and not by sight.
You've gotta walk by faith, not by sight. Listen every step of the way. Walk on into the night. Let that northern star be your guiding light.
True story. Harriet Tubman, with the help of the Union Army, once freed 750 slaves in one day. Can you imagine? 750 people. She liberated an entire plantation. The voice of spirit doesn't mess around. When you listen to that voice, you are never the same. When you listen to that voice, you are free. And it doesn't stop there. You take others with you. The 750 are still alive today. They're your sisters and your brothers in struggle and in pain. They're your doubts and your fears when you say, "I can't," but you can. And you will. When you walk by faith, not by sight. Moses walked in the middle of the night, step by step. She followed a voice. She couldn't shut it off. She didn't have a choice. It told her when to move. It told her when to wait. She was walking in its footsteps. She was walking in its grace. It wasn't just the people Moses led through the night. It was anyone who's ever walked by faith and not by sight.
You've gotta walk by faith, not by sight. Listen every step of the way. Walk on into the night. Let that northern star be your guiding light. No matter where your journey's starting from, there is a voice calling you, yeah, taking you home. You've gotta walk
By faith, not by sight.
not
Moses
by
walked in the middle of the night,
sight.
step by
Listen
step.
every
She
step
followed
of
the
the
voice.
way.
She couldn't shut it off. She didn't have a choice.
Walk on,
It told her when to move. It told her when to wait. She was walking in
into
its
the
footsteps. She
night.
was walking in its
Let
grace.
that
It wasn't just the
northern
people
star
Moses led through the night.
be
It
your
was anyone who's
guiding
ever walked by
light.
faith and not by
Walk
sight.
on into the night. Let that northern star be your guide.
It wasn't just her people Moses led through the night. It was anyone who's ever walked by faith and not by sight.
Wasn't that a powerful song? Yes. Oh my gosh, I love Mel, and that's Melissa Felipe, we affectionately known as Melly, and Z, her wife. And the two of them have Oh My God Life Ministries. And they do some wonderful work, contemporizing New Thought music in such a way that can really bring it home to us. And so I really appreciate that song this morning. And so I want to say good morning to you. This is really beautiful to see you all here today, and I know that many of you are joining us online, and I welcome you as well. I asked for that song specifically this morning because it speaks so much to the journey that I have been on. And it speaks a lot, if I could be so bold as to say, the journey that Reverend Elijah's been on. In this path of ministry, we find ourselves taking that next step. It doesn't always make sense. It doesn't always have logic to it. But I know that when we step out in faith, when we can begin to really trust our faith, that's where the mystery meets the practical. And so this morning, as we look at this idea of calling in our next yet to be, as we do this formal transition, I want to reflect on the stories of those who have had to walk by faith and not by sight. First and foremost, we have Harriet Tubman, who, born a slave, I love the line in there. She heard a voice, and what did she say? No, not me. What do you mean me? There's a great, beautiful quote that goes something like, God doesn't call the equipped. God calls those who listen to the call and then equips them. And that's exactly what happened with Harriet Tubman. And she was referred to as Moses. That was her nickname because she was the deliverer of people to freedom. And it reflected that long ago Bible story of Moses. You know the one, right? He's found in a river in a basket, and he doesn't really know his true identity, and he finds himself suddenly called upon to free the Israelites from slavery. And much like Harriet, he's sort of like, me? What, me? You want me to do this? And yet he walks it out in faith. And it's his faith that empowers him. And he does lead the Israelites out of Egypt. And they wander in the desert for 40 years. And when they finally reach the promised land, Moses doesn't actually enter the promised land with them. Now, that biblical version of the story and of the explanation of Moses, it doesn't really sit well with me. But when I look at the metaphysics behind that story, I find great power and truth. Moses represents the law. And we teach here in Centers for Spiritual Living and in the Science of Mind movement that the law is this thing that knows the how to every what we can come up with. And so if we look at Moses as this representation of the law, we know that Moses, the law, just simply said yes. He was consistent in his application of the power. He was consistent in his duties to help to free the Israelites. And as they wandered around the desert, they grumbled a lot, they complained, and they whined a bit, but he stayed consistent to what it was he was there to do, and that was to bring freedom to his people. And when I think about this story of the law, and I recognize how consistent it always is for us, and then I begin to reflect that here I am standing before you, and this is my last time as your senior minister. I think about the fact that I've been here with you. I was called, and it seemed a little improbable that I would come here. I remember standing there in the the Q&A session as I was getting to know a lot of you, and somebody stood in the back of the sanctuary and said, "Girl, do you know how much it costs to live in Santa Cruz?" And I said, "Yeah. But if you find me a place to live, I'm in." And somebody stood up and said, "You can live with me." I walked it out in faith. And I knew that my calling was to come here and to help ground this community, to really help to reinforce the existing, beautiful, powerful foundation that you already had. It wasn't to continue on the old story that was here, but it was to create this wonderful platform for us to build on. And we've done that over the last almost 4 years. And I have led you to the threshold of the promised land of realization, but I'm not going to be able to cross that threshold with you. So now I'd like to invite Mavis Musatelli and Debbie Bratby to come forward. Mavis is the board president who hired me, and Debbie is the board president who hired Elijah. Thank you, Elijah. And they bring forward a community candle, and that candle represents the light of this community, and it represents the light that these two wonderful women shepherded in our community for the last 4 years. Thank you very much. The really cool thing about a candle is that it has a single light, and yet at the same time, you can light your own candle from it, and it doesn't diminish that light. It spreads that light. It strengthens the light. It broadens the light. And what I know is that it's been my privilege to be part of your light for this last 4 years. But my time is complete, and it's time for me to share that light with another. Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I got to do this, right? Blow it out. So it's time for me to share the torch, to pass the flame of love and community to Reverend Elijah, for I know that his light will burn strong and bright, as will yours, as my time is complete here. Oh.
Thanks, Alice.
Thank you.
Uh-oh. Well, good morning. Here we are. Ernest Holmes says that there is a presence that goes before each one of us, that makes the way easy and clear, that tells us when to act, what to do, what to say, when to do it. Jean Houston calls that the lure of becoming. That there is something in front of each one of us that is always calling us, saying, "Come, be me." And I believe that from the moment each one of us is born, perhaps even from the moment of the Big Bang of the universe, each one of us heard a call that said, "Come, be me," that called us into creation, that called us into existence. And then every step of our life, that presence, that path, that lure of becoming is always saying, "Come be me, come be me." And it shows up as our dreams, it shows up as our desires, it shows up as our callings, as our irritations, as all of the things that cause us to move through our path. And that we're constantly being pulled by something that is saying, "Come be me." And I believe that for most people, that presence is standing out in front of us like this, saying, "Come be me, I've laid out this pathway." And most of the time, it's standing here like this, and it goes like this. And I feel like most of the world's lure of becoming is just walking around like this. Like, would you please come this way? And so often we get in our own way. So often we stand in the middle of that path and say, no. But when we say yes, everything changes. Because the path is already laid out in some way. In the possibility of the universe, in the fabric of space-time, the path is there. There's many paths, but it's up for us to follow which one. And I know that I was 12 years old at a Baptist summer camp, and I had my first really potent experience of being visited by something. And I knew that night that my life was about ministry. My mom and my Nana both say that they knew that before I was born. My whole life has been about following this self who's been saying, come be me. And I remember 5, maybe 6 years ago at this point, Joy Haley called me when I was living in Berkeley and said, would you come be a guest speaker in Santa Cruz? Just come visit us. And I remember when I came to this place, that little knocking, come be me, there was something here. And I said, something about this place is calling me. And I didn't know what it was, and so I continued to say yes. And for the 3 years I was living in Ashland, I think I came down here like almost once a month to visit and speak with you. And over the years, we've become more interconnected. And as I've been here with Reverend Alice on this path, working together, collaborating, I know that we've both been growing into that sense that's been calling us, into that emergent evolution. And Alice contacted me in March. We meet every week, actually, but a Thursday in March, we had a conversation, and she let me know that she had applied to the Center for Spiritual Living in Capistrano. And as this conversation evolved, at one point, Alice said to me, you know, Elisha, even if I don't get this position, I still think that you should take this position. Which to me took an incredible amount of humbleness, of love, of deep wisdom and knowledge of your own path and the recognition of mine and ours. And I think that we both saw that there was a potential for greater good for each other and for these communities that we want to serve and be part of. And when we listen to that still small voice, as Reverend Tamara loves to quote Ernest Holmes, that voice that speaks without a tongue, that there's a voice that is whispering to each one of us. And I believe that there is something that wants to emerge here in this place, in this community. You know, in the story of Moses on the journey to the Promised Land, the Israelites wander around for 40 years on what could have been a 2-week walk. To eventually get to where they were going. But a lot had to change. They had to suffer through much. Some people had to leave. Some people had to be born. The entire story had to change. And yet they were wandering around in circles for 40 years in order to get to that point of letting go and arriving at the destination that had been calling them all along. We are free to wander around in circles. The path can be short. The path can be clear. The path can be easy. And on some level, I think about the story that this community has engaged in over and over and over again with having a minister, not having a minister, having a minister, not having a minister, back and forth. The circle continues. And yet someone came into that cycle and changed the story. healed the relationship, and opened up a new possibility for the story to emerge again in a different way. And I believe that now we're standing at the threshold together of a new story, which we've actually been saying for the last year and a half or 2 years in much of the meetings that happen in this church, in this center. We've been talking about, we're calling in a new story. What if this is it? What if this is the beginning of a new story? And I spent much of the day watching the live stream yesterday of the gathering of indigenous tribes from around the area to remove the mission bell from downtown Santa Cruz. And it was such an incredibly powerful event. And one of the things that I heard was a call to become people of this land. And to me, what that means is to be a people who have a relationship with the earth, the local community around us, the ground we stand on, the history of the land we stand on. That we are connected to the ancestry, that we're connected to the history, that we acknowledge the truth of this place. And we seek to honor it, and we seek to become it, and we seek to be a place that is a living expression of harmony with life. And we often claim in Center for Spiritual Living that our vision is of a world that works for everyone. And I believe that in a big way, the invitation that I see in front of us as a community here at CSL Santa Cruz is to say, you know what, a world that works for everyone might be a really big idea and a great dream, but what would it look like if we took this 1 acre of land that we have the stewardship of, this building and its programs, the people who walk through these doors and the communities that surround us and the peoples whose land on which we stand? What if we found a way to take this 1 acre and build a template, an example of what a world that works could look like? And we did it little by little, bit by bit, starting here on the ground, honoring the peoples whose land we stand, beginning to grow food, beginning to build community in a new way. What does it look like to become stewards of this place in a whole new way? And so I think that there is something calling us. There is a path in front of us that has laid all of this out in some orchestrated way that has been easy and beautiful, mostly so far. Let it continue to be so. And so I just want to say how incredibly excited I am for the beginning of our journey together and to see where we walk this path out and how it shows up. And to me, this is also about looking at how we each fit into this bigger picture. And the thing that I believe is that there is a still small voice, that there is a path, that there is a presence that's calling each one of us. And in that calling, each of us holds a piece of a puzzle. And if we all say yes to our individual piece, then we can start to build the big picture together and see what it is that's calling us forward. And so I would like to invite the other ministers and practitioners to stand and surround the room. And I want us to use our time of closing prayer as a time of activation. We've called this morning our calling in ceremony. And I just want you to close your eyes for a moment and just think about this idea that there is a path, that there is a presence, that there is an energy calling on each one of us, calling this community. And it's saying, come be me. And if you just lift your hands up a little bit and just reach your hands out. And just imagine that that presence is right in front of you, trying to reach out and touch your hands. And it's just saying, come be me. Come be me. Make one step, make one choice today to follow this a little bit. And as you imagine that presence is calling you forward, just imagine where it's going to lead you individually, this community, and our world, should we choose to listen to it. And so I want you to take a deep breath in and let go. Another deep breath in. And let go. One more deep breath. And let go. And in just a moment, I'm going to invite us into a moment of prayer, of calling in. But this time, I want to invite anyone who feels so called to speak out loud a prayer, a chant, a tone, words of affirmation, anything that you feel called to speak into this room as that which you are calling in for yourself, and that which you are calling in for this community, or that which you want to call in for the world. We're going to take the next 5 minutes, 4 minutes, to just speak into the room out loud that which we are calling in, everyone, all at once. And however that comes out, it could just be an om, it could be a prayer of any kind. So everyone, take a deep breath in and let go. And let's speak these words together. Here we go. Begin. And so right here and right now, I claim, know, and declare that there is only one life, that there is one seamless presence that is living and breathing throughout the entirety of the universe. I call it God, but it is simply energy. It is life. It is evolution. It is that eternal presence that is living and breathing in all things, saying, "Come, be me," that has driven all of evolution for the last 14 billion years. Let us allow it to continue to flow through each one of us right here and right now, as we remember that we are a place where evolution is unfolding, that each one of us is a place where the Spirit of the living God is manifest here on earth, that each one of us is a place where choice happens. And so let us choose to say yes. Let us choose to participate in that which is unfolding in front of us. And so I speak a word of permission for every person in this community, in this space that we call Center for Spiritual Living, to open up and say yes to that which is calling them individually. And let us open collectively to say yes to that which is calling us forward as a community, so that we can remember that there is so much here to celebrate. There is so much that is seeking to bubble forth into our experience, waiting for us to say yes. And so let us remember that there is indeed a power for good in this universe that is so much greater than we are, that it is moving through all things. And so let us remember that if we can, if we are ready, we can let go, we can surrender, and remember that that is paved before us, and that we can walk it with ease and flow. And remember that all is truly unfolding as it should, if and when we choose to say yes to that which is truly calling us. And so for all of this and so much more, I add a great big word of yes by saying, and so it is.
I was just a child when Spirit came to me. Said, girl, you have things you are meant to do, so lean on me. There have been times when I thought I wouldn't make it through. That's when Spirit would turn my head the other way and have me sing to you that if I believe, I can. I know that if I can see it, God has a plan, and I will get to the end of my life and be proud of the following my dreams, I've often felt alone. But each time I was wandering, thinking I was lost, I would be sure. Now I stand here. I know I am right where I'm supposed to be, and I will hold to the truth God has given me. Now that I see that if I believe, I can. I know that if I can see it, God has a plan. I will get to the end of my life and be proud of the race I ran. 'Cause if I believe, I can.
There was a time when I couldn't go on and I tripped and fell. Oh, I was down, full of pain, misunderstanding, closing in, nowhere to go but where I landed. Wait, that's when I heard a voice in me. It filled me up. It said, believe in yourself. What you're here to do, you got no more excuses. When you follow what's true for you, I was raised up, I was made new. Now I'm standing here right in front of you to speak, to give you the word that was given to me. 'Cause nothing can stop you if you believe.
Others may say that I am wrong. Ha! What can they know when I know that if I
There was a time when I couldn't go on and I tripped and fell. Oh, I was down, full of pain, misunderstanding, closing in, nowhere to go but where I landed. Wait, that's when I heard a voice in me. It filled me up. It said, believe in yourself. What you're here to do, you got no more excuses. When you follow what's true for you, I was raised up, I was made new. Now I'm standing here, right in front of you to speak, to give you the word. It was given to me, 'cause nothing can stop you. If you believe that I was raised up, I was made new. Now I'm standing here, right in front of you to speak, to give you the word. It was given to me, 'cause nothing can stop you. If you believe, to give you the word. It was given to me, 'cause nothing can stop you. If you believe.
Wow, that was powerful, wasn't it? So we have our abundance affirmation, and I invite you to read this with me. I open myself to receive great prosperity, health, and healing. Gratefully receive the gift that I'm seeking. I accept my good and send it on to bless all humanity. I am thankful to be so richly supplied and so able to serve. I am fully blessed, and so it is. Whew. Wow, now we have our appreciation time. We have a lot of thank yous. People who have been here week out and week in of every month doing wonderful work and volunteering. I want to thank the broadcast staff, Susan Pancrast, Nancy, and Maggie. Let's thank them. Woo! I also want to thank the musicians, Reverend Melissa and Reverend Z, and the UU Choir. Thank you so much. Woo! Wow, I got my tissue up here. I want to thank our speakers, Reverend Alice and Reverend Elijah, for their wonderful talks and calling in ritual. Thank you. And most importantly, I want to thank all of you in the sanctuary and Facebook, Zoom, and YouTube. Thank you for being here, supporting us, and just knowing how blessed we are to have a new minister, but most importantly, to know that we have been held high by Reverend Alice's work all through COVID. She has done such an amazing job to keep this place going. The work behind the scenes has been truly amazing from Reverend Alice. All the times I was sitting on my comfy couch watching church, the work was going on with our volunteers and with Reverend Alice. And I just want to say thank you for all that hard work. I know it wasn't easy. And now it comes to keeping the lights on and the doors open. It's time to look at our financial contribution to what we believe. And this is an important time because, as you know, as we give, we receive. So I want to say, if you found this time valuable and helpful, please share it with others. And I invite you to support the center with your financial gifts. And there are 5 ways to do that. Go to our website, mail a check, text to give, the gift app, and you can use a QR code. And today we have a new bowl. Alice is moving her bowl to Southern California. I have memorized the brass bowl in the back of the room. Please put it. No longer, it is being shipped, going to its new home. I will miss that bowl. However, there is a new bowl, and it's big, it's blue, and it's beautiful, and it's ceramic. So please give your financial gifts in the big, beautiful blue bowl, and shed a tear for the brass bowl. And now, I want to say, again, because this needs, you know how they do plays, and they all come over and they bow and everybody claps, and they go away, and then they come back, and you gotta stand up again. This is the time. Let's stand for Reverend Alice. Woo! Wow. And so, there is a special time for us as we move forward. Next slide, please. No, the other one. Okay. It's your time to shine. This is actually a fun job. Once I got over my fear of it, it's been a lot of fun. I watched Elijah have a good time with it. I was like, okay. And now I get it. Are you interested? Are you being called to do my job here? We want different faces. Not that mine isn't fine, but we want different faces. We want an eclectic group of people sharing from the audience, from the congregation, from our community. And it is your time. It is your time to come on up here and take this mic and do your thing. However, there is a script, but you get weaned off of that pretty quickly. And please know there's a special place for you and your face up here to shine, okay? And I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to do that. And Elijah is the person you go to say, I want to shine, and pick up the mic. Woo! Not drop it. This is pick it up. Okay. So please see Reverend Elisha to volunteer. Thank you. Now, there is a new discussion series facilitated by Sky Leona, second and fourth Wednesdays of the month, 1 to 2:30, in the social hall. It's not a class, it's a discussion group. Attendance is free. And Sky, raise your hand. There she is. Please contact Sky if you're interested. Thank you. Join us live again in the sanctuary. Woohoo! Let's all say woohoo for everybody who showed up today. Woohoo! And our YouTube channel, our Facebook, and our Zoom. Meditation before service, if weather is permitted, in the back garden at 10 a.m. No talk after the talk today. I'm really sorry, but we're having a party, and if you didn't come here, you're not getting your car and come. I saw a cake back there. I saw some really beautiful things, and we have Becky's dahlias delightfully all over the place, grown by her. It's just beautiful, and I noticed, did you love the altar? Look at these flowers in honor of Reverend Alice. Aren't they beautiful? So we're having fellowship in the front garden, and all the volunteers have done a great job to bid our farewell and bon voyage to Reverend Alice's next journey. How lucky their congregation is in San Juan Capistrano, San Clemente. They're next door neighbors. And here she is. She comes from the East Coast and comes to beautiful Santa Cruz, Northern California. Now she's moving on down to Southern California. She can't get away from the coast, but there you go. She's a wanted woman. So please come. We invite you to this wonderful, lovely celebration of the 4 years that Reverend Alice has dedicated her time, her energy, and her love to this community. Let us go there with blessings and thank yous today and have a little cake, because we can have our cake and eat it too today. So. We are going to miss you, Reverend Alice. There's my tissue. So I want you again to thank you for being here today and showing up live to honor our beloved Reverend Alice and to welcome in our beloved Reverend Elisha. Have a blessed week, and all of you on Facebook and Zoom, we'll eat cake for you. Bye-bye.